After 5 years, it had become one of those comfortable situations. We split the rent and utilities and watched our shows every night after work. Mari and I knew each other for years before becoming a couple. I think we skipped over the exciting part of a new relationship, where you get to know the other person. She was already my best friend before the first kiss. For a long time, we romanticized that, as if it was an indication we were meant to be. But after enough repetition, that sentiment turned into a justification for the mundane. Working in sales, industrial supply, I slowly learned that I'm not a decent person. At first, I struggled with that, always questioning myself, my morals and such. But after a while, you can reckon with the truth and everything becomes a little easier. Until my plan, I'd never done anything outright bad. Lying confidently behind an endearing smile for a living isn't abnormal. A lot of folks would just say I did my job well. But out of this repetition, both at work and home, I became incredibly antsy. You know things are really going downhill when you can't stand how your partner's deodorant smells, how loud their steps are, their chewing. I know I'm not strong. I've been told countless times that I should have just ended things, but that's not what I wanted to do. There's more than one mean bone in my body. I somehow grew resentful of Mari, as if it were all her fault that I was trapped in the death cycle. Clock out, groceries, show, bed. I know it's not right. I'm just being honest with you. She was an alright girlfriend, never cheated or anything. She hadn't hurt me yet. The idea came one day when I dropped off my coworker, Kirsty, to retrieve her car after getting new tires. She and I barely spoke at the office, but I was the last option for a ride that day. On the drive back home, I saw one of her blonde hairs stuck to the passenger seat headrest, glimmering in the sunlight. The immediate instinct should have been to remove the hair and avoid an annoying inquiry from Mari, but instead, I felt something sly in my stomach, and I left it there. It wasn't until the following weekend, when Mari and I went out for laundry day, that she noticed it, one strand of golden hair enmeshed in the fibers. "Whose is this?" Mari asked the question with a wry smile, almost sarcastically, expecting some benign response. It was an intentional prod. Right in that moment, her tone cemented my plan. She asked as if it'd be impossible for me to have a dirty little secret. "What? There's a yellow hair in your car." She couldn't even call it blonde. I don't think Mari would have chosen to be a brunette. Oh, weird. I faked a slight nervousness in my response. Most people would hate to be along for the rest of that car ride, but I loved every second of it. For the first time in a long time, I wasn't bored, and we were interesting. I knew I'd have to wait a while before planting another seed of distrust. I spent the next few weeks bathing like a pig in the mud of our tense apartment. I waited until things died down, as if the hair were only a breath away from being forgotten. Given that I'd been such a consistent partner, I received the benefit of the doubt this round. My opportunity to build on the ruse came when Mari went home to Connecticut for a weekend. The Friday evening after she left, I took myself out for dinner. Went to a restaurant Mari mentioned wanting to try a few times, but I always struck down the suggestion, always opting for one of our tried and true eateries. It was a barbecue joint, and I was delighted to find that their leftover containers had the logo embossed on the lid, an obnoxious cartoon bull skull with long outstretched horns underlying the name Big Smokies. After finishing my ribs, baked potatoes, and mac and cheese, I ordered a salad with dried cranberries and almond slivers with vinaigrette dressing. Gross. Leaving most of the dish, I put a quarter of the salad in the to-go box. I even mashed it around with my fork a bit, took it home, and tucked it in the fridge behind a few beers. The following Saturday, I went to the mall. It felt like taking myself on a second date. Mari prefers vanilla bean, cinnamon, and rich chocolate notes, so I tried out floral scents. Up until then, I'd never been in Sephora, and I've always refused to go in. It's actually kind of nice. They have testers for almost every product. I spent some time really getting into it, using those little white test strips. I imagined the kind of girl I might be sneaking around with. Would she be more of a Gucci Flora or a Tom Ford Black Orchid type? I settled on the latter. Once back home, I took the case from the bottommost pillow of our mismatched pile. While bringing it to the backyard, I turned it inside out, then hung it from a tree branch. Standing a couple of feet away, I spritzed the black orchid perfume towards the fabric. The winter had been turning to spring, and I took a moment to bathe in the mild night as the scent aired out. The frogs were peeping from the nearby creek, and it was warm enough to be without a jacket. Mari was more down than usual when she came home. Her mom wasn't doing well, and she had to meet with her brothers to discuss in-home care arrangements. Early onset dementia is more common now, but who plans for that kind of thing? I think people expect to be at a certain place professionally by the time a parent becomes ill, but that timing hasn't worked out for Mari's family. Doug, the youngest sibling, is still finishing college and can't contribute much more than his presence. Unluckily for him, he chose a nearby state school. Brandon, the oldest, has 2 kids and works the trades. Unfortunately for Mary, she can contribute the most, being a senior accountant, both making the most and working standard hours. Remember when she wouldn't answer our calls and we were all freaking out because we thought she maybe fell or something? I responded with, uh-huh, while eating a cup of noodle. Well, she put her phone in the fridge and left the chopped meat sitting on the counter. It was still out and rancid when we got there. She's all mixed up and we need someone to actually be there. Yeah, totally. Doug is doing the best, but he can't be there all the time. He offered to defer next semester, but nobody wants that. He's got too much potential, and it would just be unfair. But I don't live there, you know? I know. So I think we're going to get a part-time nurse, and that's great, but I'm going to have to pay for most of it. Brandon's got the kids, and I know it's the right thing to do, but it would be nice if they just asked me flat out instead of it being the expectation, instead of it just being like, assumed I can do that. Yeah. I watched Mari stomp from room to room as she recounted her misgivings. While she unpacked her bags, I waited to see when she might catch a whiff of the perfume. Like a hunter, I waited for the deer to lick that salt block. I don't know, I just feel like I'm the rock, and I'm happy to be, I guess, but maybe I wanted to be cared for too. Like if I'm not there, does nothing happen? I know they worry, but it feels like I have to worry the most. The bit about caring seemed a subconscious jab at me. Sorry, Mar. I don't know, is that like fucked up of me to say? She grabbed a beer from the fridge, then stopped, tab half pulled, and then opened the fridge again. Did you go to Smokey's? My blood turned to glitter. Oh yeah, just felt like something different. I took a loud slurp of noodle as if the sound could hide her discovery. Oh. What? All the wind had left her sails. I don't know. What, Mar? Well, I've been telling you I've been wanting to go there for a while. Yeah, sorry, I was just feeling like something different. I tried to send a gust her way. The conversation would have fallen flat without some encouragement. I didn't expect her to come back from Connecticut so drained. She set the beer down and aggressively grabbed the container from the fridge. Yeah, really different. What? A fucking salad? Since when do you order fucking salad? She opened the container. The bowl on the embossed lid smiled at me upside down. Dan, there's almonds in this. You're always telling me I should eat better. I don't know what you want me to tell you. You're allergic to almonds, you fucking asshole. I'd forgotten this about myself when ordering the salad. Kind of took the subtlety out of this play. They say you can grow out of your allergies. Mari blasted a loud and pathetic scream. I think it's called a yop. Anyway, she threw the salad kind of towards the floor in a sloppy, uncoordinated motion, then stormed past me into the bedroom. Mar, come on. I could hear a flurry of fabrics and a zipping of zippers. Within a minute, she'd gotten her bag sloppily repacked and was trudging back to the car. I followed her outside into the warm spring air. Gnats were starting to flitter about in little swarms. She slammed the trunk shut and addressed me loudly and uncharacteristically. Listen to me. I don't know what the fuck is going on or what you think you're doing. Get it together before you speak to me again, because when I'm ready to talk about this, and if you lie to me, we're going to have a big fucking problem. She got in the car and drove off, sending gravel all over the grass. The landscaper was pissed. I was pissed too, as that reaction wasn't what I was betting on. The plan was supposed to burn slowly, but this had escalated sooner than I would have liked. I was kind of proud of Mari then, for standing up to me like that. This was the first time I'd seen that side of her. There was a fire. I thought then that it was someone I'd like to know better.